Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel ShivaTube. So in last video we have created the structure of the application, like how it works, and we started also the application, and we have created the tables and schema related to Quartz application. So in this video we will be creating the packages, classes, interfaces related to this Quartz application. So let's get started. So this was the application, right? And we had created. So in this today we will be creating in this video all the packages, all the classes, interfaces related to that. So first we will be creating the request and response class. Okay, so for that package we will be adding payload, scheduler response. Okay, so this is the scheduler response. Now we will be creating the scheduler request. So we have created the scheduler response and request. So what are the parameters we will be taking in the request? So related to like email, subject, body, email, subject, body. Okay, these will be taking in the request. So apart from these three, there are two more parameters we will be taking, that is date and time, and that one is zone ID. Local date and time, local date time. Then in zone ID we will be creating zone ID. Okay, so now we will be creating the a setter getter. Okay, so this request class is done, right? So this request class is done. Now we will be creating the response class. So now we will be creating the response class. So in response class, what we will be doing is we will be adding the response parameters, job ID, job group, message, success or failure. So that one. So here also we will be creating the setter getter first. Okay, and also two more constructors, parameters constructor we will need to create for our purpose. So one will be message and success only. Okay, and another will be with all the parameters. Okay, we will be using this for response while returning from the class. Now request and response is created, right? So now we will be creating another that is service layer. So let me create the first interface, right? So that will be the schedule job scheduler service. Okay, job scheduler service, and here again we will be creating one class job scheduler service impl. Okay, so hope you guys understand like why we are creating these things. Let me go through again. So this is the controller service and email job and all this. So now we are creating this service. So the interaction between the controller and the service, it will be like request response, right? So we have created the request and the response payload. Now we are going to create the service layer, and then we will be creating controller and then email job. Okay, and all this trigger. So we have created this one. Now we will be implementing this one. Job scheduler service. So there are no methods in this currently, that's why we are not able to implement it, right? So let me add here one method which will be used for so here scheduler request we will be using, response we will be using, and then job so okay, we have created this method. Now we need to implement this method in here. You can see we are getting the error, right? So we will be providing the implementation. That implementation we will talk about this one later. So first we are creating the code, basic code like classes, interfaces, packages and all those structure again. Okay, so this is done. Now we are going to create the controller layer. So I'll give this controller package, and then here controller. Okay, so most important, we need to provide the stereotype annotations. Okay, so here also we will be providing the stereotype annotations to make them know like this is the service layer and this is the controller layer. Okay, so in this controller layer we will be writing the we will be using this that method to call the service layer. Okay, to call service layer we need to provide the bean of that, right? Job scheduler service. We will be using this one to call the service layer. Okay, scheduler service. Okay, so here we will be creating one endpoint, post mapping endpoint. Okay, schedule email. So as this is REST API, so response entity we will be providing with the scheduler response, right? Schedule job. So we will be receiving the request body. So scheduler request. Scheduler request. Okay, now here what we will do, let me do this full screen. Okay, so here we will be using this one, job scheduler service dot schedule job. So we will be passing this request here. Okay, so let me see the implementation here. Response I have added, scheduler request we need to add, right? Okay, so we need to modify here also, request. Okay, so this response is needed, right? So this is done. Now it will also be done. Now here also there will be no error, right? So we need to return, right? So what we need to return? This response entity we need to return. So what we will do is, we will be creating one response entity, return new, not new, response entity dot okay, and this we will be calling here. That's it, this is done. So we have created this job scheduler controller, scheduler service. So controller service is done, request response model is created. Now we will be creating this email job, and let's see how we can create that. So one more thing is there, like in previous I have told this one, job listener are there, right? Job trigger listener and job listener. So these two listeners we will be creating also. So first we will focus on this email job. Okay, so let me create the job email job. So this email job is created. Now we will be extending, so we need to extends from Quartz bean, right? So we need to extend a class, that is Quartz job bean. So this is extended. Now in this, whatever the abstract method is there or any, so we need to implement it. So this is done. So this will be calling, this method will be executed by that trigger, as you can see here in architecture diagram, this flow diagram. So email job will be triggered by this trigger. Okay, so this execute internal will be called by that one. So this is created. Now we will create a listener. So job listener IMPL. So as currently that is interface, so that's why we are creating the class. Okay, job listener and trigger listener. So these two listeners are created. Now in trigger listener, what we will do is implements trigger listener. Okay, so here also unimplemented method we need to implement it. So we have, so what we will return and what we will add here, so we will be talking, but first we'll create this implements job listener. Okay, here also we need to provide the implementations. So this whole architecture structure is created with the classes, interfaces and whatever they required. Now the left part is only coding. So hope you understand this, and in next video we will be talking about how to write the logic for the Quartz scheduler, how it works and everything. So that will be the final video, and hope you understand. So please do share, subscribe this video if you like. Okay, and please add the comment if you require any other clarifications regarding this. Thanks for watching this video.